Welcome back to the Accessible Art History YouTube channel. Following tradition, I'm going to cover 5 exciting archaeological discoveries from the previous year. It's truly amazing that, even in the 21st century, we are still making important historical discoveries that help us understand the past. These are just 5 of the discoveries, and there are so many more. I cover at least one every month on Accessible Art History newsletter, so make sure to sign up using the link in the description box so you don't miss out. So, without further ado, let's dive into some fascinating archaeological discoveries. In October 2021, the Israel Antiquities Authority, or IAA, announced that a 900-year-old sword was discovered off a seabed off the Carmel coast. Shlomo Katzin was diving near his home when he spotted the sword and other Crusader-era artifacts peeking out from the sand. Although it was encrusted with sea life, the IAA stated that it was in near perfect condition, and, due to its 4-foot length, likely belonged to a Crusader knight. However, it is possible it belonged to a Muslim soldier, as a straight sword was a popular weapon across cultures. This remarkable discovery is undergoing conservation and study at IAA laboratories. Eventually, their goal is to put it on public display for all to enjoy. Despite its place in popular knowledge, there is actually little archaeological evidence of crucifixion from the days of the Roman Empire. One example, a heel bone with a nail through it, was discovered in Israel in 1968. 53 years later, another such bone was found in the United Kingdom. Studies indicate that it was from a man between the ages of 25 and 35. His bones, especially his legs, showed that he worked as a manual laborer, possibly a slave. Even worse, there is evidence that he was chained to a wall for a long period of time before his execution. The skeleton was found in a mass grave with 48 other bodies. There was no evidence of the man's crimes, but Roman authorities reserved crucifixion for the most heinous crimes against the state, like rebellion and treason. The heel bone, despite its size, can tell us a lot about the practice in the Roman Empire during the 3rd and 4th century CE. One of the largest ancient Egyptian cities ever discovered was unearthed by mistake this year. Egyptologists were actually looking for the mortuary temple of Pharaoh Tutankhamun along the west bank of the Nile in Luxor when they stumbled upon a city. It is well preserved and contains houses, streets, and city walls. According to hieroglyphic inscriptions, the city was called Tenaten, or Dazzling Aten, and was founded by Pharaoh Amenhotep III. He was the grandfather of Tutankhamun and the father of Akhenaten, the heretic pharaoh who turned Egypt into a monotheistic society. It was likely abandoned during Akhenaten's reign because he moved Egypt's capital to his city of Amarna, 250 miles away from Luxor. Aten was Egypt's main administrative center and industrial center. Despite being 3,000 years old, it has been remarkably preserved and will enlighten Egyptologists for years to come. This next discovery actually started over 100 years ago, in 1900. A 7-foot by 5-foot schist slab was discovered in Brittany, France. It's in size with crisscrossing lines and repeated symbols. However, it was soon forgotten about in the collection of France's National Archaeology Museum. 2021, Clement Nicolas, an archaeologist at Bournemouth University, and his team decided to study the stone after being intrigued by photographs. This was no small feat as it weighs almost a ton. After examining the stone, the team realized that the slab's left edge resembled the shape of the Odette River Valley, which is close to where the stone was discovered. It also has markings that match other landmarks in the area. The slab map dates from 2150 to 1600 BCE, making it the oldest map ever discovered in Europe. There's a small square in the center of the piece. This has led archaeologists believe that it was made by a small group staking their claim in the area. This year, archaeologists discovered what is possibly the world's oldest artwork of art. It's located in a cave in Tibet and dates from 226,000 to 169,000 years ago. The work is made up of handprints and footprints clustered together on a small, rocky outcropping. Due to their size, it's believed that they were made by children. These children were likely Neanderthals or members of the related Denisovan species due to the time period. This date was determined by testing mineral deposits, specifically uranium, because they decay at a steady, measurable rate. Isn't it amazing how science and history can come together to help us learn about the past? These are only 5 of the dozens of stories that broke during 2021. They remind us that we are still learning about the past every day. I wonder what this year will hold.